All right, we're going to go over some ground beef here at Costco. My favorite thing to get at Costco, and I come just to Costco to get, is the ground bison. It's 90-10, so it's fairly lean. What people don't realize, all bison, no matter what bison, is all grass-fed, grass-finished. A lot of these companies, like Costco, play on words, and they've got organic ground beef. Organic may sound good, but it's just fed organic grain and soy, which is what the cows shouldn't be eating. So organic may look appealing, but ideally it's just as the same as traditional beef. So for dollar, you're actually better off going with traditional beef unless you're going to get the grass-finished, grass-fed bison, which is only here at Costco, and it's just as good as beef in my opinion. Okay, sticking with beef, I've got beef loin top sirloin here. The reason I go this one, it's fairly tender, but it's leaner. It's a lot leaner than the New York strip, and it's a lot leaner than a ribeye too. So again, I can get my protein in, my high protein content, and then if I need additional fat, I can add some throughout my diet with like a mayo or butter or something like that. Just makes it a little bit easier for me to control. All right, one of the quickest, easiest meals, guys, is the rotisserie chicken. What I like to do is I like to quarter it out. So I'll take like the leg and thigh and put it with a side of vegetables. You can also shred up the breast, or you can do a whole full half chicken of breast, thigh, and leg. But it's quick, simple, easy, fairly lean, and it's a good on-the-go source, especially if you have a meal prep for that week. All right, into some chicken, guys. We got the drum legs. One of my favorite go-to and easy to go-to is the chicken thighs. Now, there's no bone in it. It's been cut out. So what I do is get the pan real hot with some like avocado oil, season them up just like I would sear them, and they actually cook up a lot quicker. The ones with the bones in it take a lot longer to cook. So these are a quick go-to. They've got great flavor, and they're not as fatty because they don't have the skin on top of them. So it's actually a fairly lean piece of protein. When people think of like a chicken breast compared to chicken thigh, they're always going to go to a breast being that it's thinner or being that it's leaner, but the chicken thigh is actually a good go-to. Okay, chicken skewers and some pre-cooked meats here. I like going over these. They're not a terrible choice, but I would have them as a plan B or plan C. They're prepped and they're ready to go, which is a convenience thing, which is great. But if you look on the back of it, when you get down to the ingredients, they have some stuff to preserve it, but they also have stuff to keep it moist, like potato starch, dextrose, which is a term for sugar. So these are pumped into these things, again, keep that flavor content high. So you got to be cautious with this. Not absolutely terrible. It's better than getting McDonald's, obviously, but something you want to look at that you may have for, again, a plan B or plan C. All right, we got more pre-cooked meats here. I was just going over this one, this grass-fed, grass-finished beef sirloin, which looks pretty good. There is a splash of sugar in it, which is what happens when they preserve meats. But other than that, the macros on it are pretty clean. For a serving size, 5 grams of fat, 20 grams of protein, and only 1 carbohydrate. So that means there's minimal sugar in it. I've actually never got this. I'm going to grab it today because it looks pretty good. Next on my list is salmon. Smoked salmon is a good plan B for me when I'm not prepped or prepared. But if you notice, I go with the wild-caught Norwegian salmon because the difference between farm-raised and wild-caught is a big difference. Your omega-3s is very high, which is what we want in the wild-caught. Your omega-6 is very high in farm-raised. So if you look at the difference, I've got farm-raised here on the right. I've got the wild on my left. You can see how light colored that one is compared to that dark orange. You always want that dark orange when you're looking in between salmons if you have to. All right, as you guys know, I'm a fan of getting the blocks of cheese instead of the shredded cheese. Costco has the best deal on a Kerrygold grass-fed, grass-finished cheese, which again is a little over the top. It is a little expensive, but relatively to getting it anywhere else, it's cheapest here at Costco. So this is actually the cheese that I go to, that we keep, that I shred up and use on pretty much everything. So maybe something you guys want to check out if you're here at Costco. Good. All right, a great quick go-to are these avocado mash cups. I like going to these because, one, a whole avocado is calorically dense. There's about 20 plus grams of fat in an avocado. Now, it's good healthy fat that we want, but if you only get so many grams of fat throughout a day, an avocado is going to take up the majority of it. Also, we all know that you cut an avocado in half, the one side is going to turn brown if you try to save it for another day. This is pretty much a whole avocado, or it's whole food avocado with a couple seasonings in it and a little bit of lemon juice to preserve it, so it holds up. So 1 cup of it has only 8 grams of fat, so that way you don't have to sit there and section off a whole avocado, and you can use it sparingly. So a great, good, whole, healthy fat to go to. Okay, just came across this, guys. Hard-boiled eggs here at Costco. Going across it, it's simply just pre-made hard-boiled eggs, quick, easy to go. I'm not a huge fan of hard-boiled eggs, But I would keep these. Again, plan B and C are great to have around when we haven't prepped. If you like hard-boiled eggs, I'd be all for this. Seems to be a pretty decent price for 24 eggs that are ready to go. So much easier than sitting there doing it all yourself. Probably a touch more expensive, but again, an egg is a perfect protein and fat paired together. So maybe something to keep in the fridge. Okay, great deal here. Costco's organic Greek yogurt. Now this is the plain one, so it means there's no sugar that's been pumped into it, which is what we want, but also leaves it with that almost that sour cream flavor. So again, what I've done, and I talked about in previous videos, is take a half a scoop to a scoop of a flavored whey protein, or the X Works that we recommend, and you put it in there. So not only do you get one serving, which is 2/3 of a cup, not only are you getting 18 grams of protein, if you throw a scoop of protein on top of that to give it a chocolate, vanilla, or peanut butter flavor that we have, you'll get close to 45 grams of protein. So quick, easy, high protein snack. This is a staple here at Costco for us. This is the wild Argentine red shrimp. High protein, low fat. So like a serving of this, 4 ounces, you get 18 grams of protein, half a gram of fat, 0 gram of carbohydrates. So we throw this in cauliflower stir fries. We'll actually just put a bunch in a skillet with a touch of butter to get a little bit of fat, and then put a side of vegetables with it or stuff. So great, easy, secondary, what I call secondary protein outside of beef and chicken is what we typically go to. So something you may not think of, but it's a great option to add for those proteins. Okay, we're going to go over some peanut butter here real quick. We've got a Costco organic natural peanut butter, a good peanut butter or peanut butter you're going to want, which you have to be cautious with. Good amount of fat in it. Peanut butter is not a protein. It's a fat. That's how I categorize it as. You want a natural one that separates. So if you see there's a, you probably can't see on this, but there's a big oil on top of it that you have to stir in. Once you stir it in, put it in the fridge and it'll hold up. But this is what you want to go to if you're going to peanut butter. You want to avoid Skippy, Jif. What people don't realize on the ingredients in this, first it's peanuts, then the second ingredient is sugar, and then it's followed by molasses, another sugar, and then fully hydrogenated vegetable oil. What people don't realize is that's a trans fat. Now trans fats are technically illegal, but they relabel them. So this peanut butter fat here, the macros are about the same, but the quality of the ingredients are completely different. So go with the natural when you have the opportunity. All right, here with the salt. Salt is a key micronutrient that you guys need. It's a mineral that we have to have, but salt's been demonized because what people don't realize, processed foods are poorly made sodium bicarbonate, which is sodium chloride, which is a chemical you want to stay away from. So pink Himalayan salt, sea salts are what you want to use. You can't use too much of it. It's not going to affect your blood pressure. It's the Morton salt, even like a kosher salt or these processed seasonings here have that sodium chloride, which is a chemically made salt, is what messes you guys up. So don't be afraid of salt. Salt is your friend as long as you get them from natural sources like pink Himalayan or sea salt. Okay, marinara or pasta sauces here. Rao's is the gold standard for me. There's no sugar pumped into it per serving, which is half a cup, has 6 grams of carbohydrates. One similar to it has closer to 9 or 10. Now, you're probably having 3 to 4 servings when you have this. So those additional 3 to 4 carbohydrates do add up when we have to monitor. Remember, we don't want to fear carbohydrates. We do want to respect them. So if we can keep them minimal and something with the same flavor, that's what we want to shoot for. So again, Rao's, they're carrying a double pack here at Costco. This is the one I get no matter where I'm at, and they have a good deal on it here. Okay, we've got the Primal Kitchen here in Costco, guys. If I was having to have a Costco membership, it would pay for itself just between the mayo and the buffalo sauce. This jar of mayo is 32 ounces. At Schnucks Deerberg's, a 16-ounce jar is going to cost you close to like 12-15 bucks. This is $9 here. And again, pure avocado oil, all natural ingredients, pretty much 100% organic as well. So this is a good healthy fat. Buffalo sauce as well, guys. Whole ingredients, low on the carbohydrates, great way to add flavor to the food.